Hello.
Hello.
This is my husband, Jeres. He wanted to be interviewed, and I have lots of random questions for him. I think I'm the most comfortable asking him some random questions. So, he goes by Jeres. In Creole, everybody calls him Jeres, but he often introduces himself to Dominicans as Junior, which is also one of his real names. But I think it's because in Dominican Spanish, they don't pronounce Jeres the right way. Is that why you do that? Yeah. Okay. So, my first question is, we're going to mostly do it in English, and Dre speaks English, but he's never gone to the U.S. and hasn't really been immersed in English. We always speak Creole to each other, so we'll probably do like Creole/English. So when you were in school in Haiti, how do kids have to dress at school in Haiti?
When I was in school, the kids always have to put uniform on and clean shoes.
Clean shoes.
Yeah.
Not sandals.
No, not sandals.
Like dress shoes.
If you come with sandals, they're gonna send you back to your house. Your kids always had to come with a uniform.
And what about? Can they wear tennis shoes that are like?
They can wear tennis shoes.
Any color?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what color.
Some school.
Yeah.
Some school doesn't want any color, but
just black.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the hair?
The hair.
Boys' hair and girls' hair. Were there rules about hair?
Well, there's not a big rules, but we all Haitian already know that the truth. We have to clean our hair, and the girls always braid their hair just to make it beautiful. So that's not a problem.
Okay, but like boys' hair, like how you have this little hairdo. Would you be allowed to go to school like that?
No, when I was in school, people can come in the school with that. They will send you back.
So can the boys' hair be long? Like not long, but can boys have long hair?
Not so long, but some school always send the kids back to the house if the hair is big.
Yeah. Because what I've seen with some of our teachers, that they will want to send kids home if their hair is if they have any hair at all. If it boys' hair, if it starts growing a little bit, then they want to send them home.
I think nowadays that's not a big problem for school.
Okay, because I've seen it in the past in 5 years.
That's not a big problem for school nowadays.
You don't think so? Okay, so this is why I didn't think it made any I respected it. Why do you think they do that?
That's something about our culture. Because the Haitian culture is like we're so proud of a lot of things. Tako nou toujou vle pase ti lot dou bon son di la. Toujou vle pare tako nou pi bon.
We like to kind of have rules and look like we're better. Okay, so I got used to this rules because I got used to, we have the boys in the group home, we would send them to school and they would want to have their hair longer and the teachers would send them back, and I didn't know how to tell the teachers let them go, since the schools are within Project Esperanza, and Project Esperanza is paying the teachers. I didn't want to be like, oh no, they're allowed to go to school, like this is the rule. I wanted to be culturally sensitive but also practical and let them express themselves a little bit too. So it was hard to balance. Yeah, but I learned you have to pick your fights, and there's already kids that are way behind the grade level that they should be at and have behavior problems, and so I don't know if I want to be arguing too much about hair. So I learned to submit on that end and say, you have to have closed-toed shoes on, you have to have your hair short, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
So then when you started growing this little thing on your head, and you're in the schools all the time, you did it in the summer, and school wasn't in summer camp, it wasn't as big of a deal. But then when school started, you said you weren't going to cut it, and I thought you should cut it. And you said no, and so I was planning on cutting it while you were sleeping, but I was afraid you would get mad at me. But I really thought I was going to do it, but I decided not to do it. And then you've had it for like a few years since, and you've never wanted to cut it off. You cut it off once, but then you grew it back.
Yeah.
And you do different styles with it and all that. So, why do you do it?
It's just like since I was a little kid, I always create my own style. Tant comme toujours voulais un propre style pam donc juste me mes façon.
Yeah, you just want to express yourself, basically.
Yeah.
You just want to have a unique style.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. So then what do you think about the rebelliousness of it, that we're trying to tell kids not to have long hair, and then you go in the school with the hairdo? What do you think about that?
Moi c'est ça, yon moun ka vraiment ba yon éducation pas de venir ensemble avec un bail qui craser l'autre ou comme ça me là. Tako
Ou même moi venir avec un bagage qui craser l'autre?
Oui.
Ça veut dire que vous pas doué faire ça?
Non, pas doué.
Ou t'as doué coupé?
Oui.
Oh, okay. He just concluded that he should probably cut it off because he shouldn't be giving an example that's against the rules. Bois coupé? Bois coupé?
Comment ça? Connais là?
Qui le bois coupé? Oui, mais point ciseaux?
No, moi c'est
I asked if he was going to cut it, and he said, what? I said, can I go with the scissors? And so he's still a little bit attached to it, but he thinks that it's kind of wrong. Et bien, vous pensez que le règlement doit changer, ou bien vous pensez que même doit changer? Qui est-ce?
Bon, nous avons un gros problème, de même pour l'église. Moun kale l'église ou kale l'église n'importe gens.
Ah, ça c'est une autre question. So he said, now he's saying he thinks it's not a big deal. The same with church. Vous parlez en anglais? Nous disons en anglais. Vous parlez bien.
Like,
go ahead and talk about church. Now you're getting into church. So what are at most of all Haitian churches? What are you supposed to look like when you go to church? Are there rules?
I think there's rules for some Haitian.
Yeah.
But not for everyone.
Right.
No.
But like at every Haitian church that you've ever known of, did they all have rules about clothes?
No.
No. Some don't. Some let you go in with jeans.
You can go. Ou capable aller jonvler.
Where is this Haitian church where you can go? Where there's a Haitian church where you can go with whatever clothes you want?
Ou n'importe jonvler. Mais ça va aller parler dehors.
Oh yeah.
Mais c'est même moun ça tant qui a poussé un peu le chrétien qui veut aller dans l'église tant yo même qui pousser para rentrer dans l'église pour sauver nam yo.
So like the Haitian churches, there's a few here in Los Domingos where we live. You feel like you could go in jeans or in shorts and it would be fine. Nobody would say anything to you right away.
No.
They would just talk behind your back. Wouldn't some of them talk to you too?
About where?
Directly to you, maybe say something to you?
No.
You haven't had any friends that have said things to you about that? Emilien.
Oh no, Milan, do you parler?
I've observed friends telling them. So I've seen sometimes too when somebody maybe wants to go to church, and then so people that are in the church, they tell them, okay, you need to get these clothes and you need to get these shoes, right? And I've seen a lot of people that have stopped going to church because they feel like people are talking bad about their clothes.
I think for God, that's not a big problem. So pour bon Dieu moi que c'est nam pour albay c'est que pour qui attaché ensemble avec lui bon ça me là tant que pas regarder bio pour aller bon Dieu pour aller pas bagaille yeah ça c'est plus ça c'est haïtien toujours compliqué bail dans sens pas toujours compose qu'il faut habiller bien pour bail pendant ce temps pile là il habiller bien au bagaille mais il pas vraiment servi 100% oui.
Yeah, he thinks it's complication. It's overcomplication, and then it doesn't matter. It's your heart that matters, and that some people even wear the right clothes, but they aren't really serving God. Okay. So do you think there's anything good about wearing a uniform to school?
Oui, bon.
You think it's good to wear a uniform to school, but it's not good to have to dress up to go to church? Or it's not good for people to talk bad about you because of your clothes?
Non, mba di pou moun pa habiller bien pour aller l'église, non? Moun doit habiller bien pour aller l'église. Mais un moun qui gagne bas recours so qui pas gagne rad pour aller l'église.
Okay, he said it doesn't mean people shouldn't dress up to go to church. You should dress up to go to church.
Oui.
But people who don't have a lot of money, go ahead.
Un moun qui pas gagne un peu le recours so yo ta ça ou gagne yo doit laver bon Dieu pour aller servir.
Yeah, they should just go how they can. It's God that you
on y a là yon moun qui veut cap juger moun ça qui a là avec rad qui pas bon. Avant juger l'op bay.
Yeah. So if you would like to judge the person that will go in those clothes before you would judge them, you should give them the clothes that you think they should wear. Okay, but what about so do you think it's good to go to school in uniform?
Oui, le bon tout. Il bon, mais parfois tout grand peu monde qui connaît aller sans rad, mais aller sans rad là faut ou gagne plein pour aller porter dans direction. Et uniforme tichi ou bien uniforme qui sale. Sinon qui sont style pour paraître avec uniforme.
So he thinks it's good. He thinks that a uniform is a good rule for school, but sometimes you can go with a different shirt on or something, but you have to go give a reason at the office. Et pour qui ça pense c'est bon pour aller en uniforme? Oh, sorry, let me say it in English. Why do you think it's good to wear a uniform to school? Like in the United States, I never wore a uniform to school. They did have rules, like your shorts couldn't be too short, and you couldn't wear anything offensive on your shirt. You couldn't wear spaghetti strap shirts and stuff like that. But other than that, you could wear, basically whatever you want. It's very different.
It's just different culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's a good side about wearing uniforms.
What?
I think that sometimes kids might, in what they wear, they might judge each other because of what they're wearing too. They might say that kid has better clothes, or maybe they're trying to be different, but you don't need to be different on the outside. If everybody paid attention to what that person thinks, and if that person was able to explain what they feel, then they would be able to show that everybody's different like that. So like you said, ever since you were little, you wanted to have your own unique style.
Yeah.
And so if you did end up cutting your hair so that it was, within the rules of the school, then you can still show your uniqueness in other ways. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you about one time there was a parent-teacher meeting, and I don't think that you were there, but I think I told you about it. So one of the teachers, each teacher was having a turn speaking, and everybody was together. The parents were all sitting down. The teachers were each having a turn, 5 minutes to talk. And one of the teachers, who was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, but her parents are from Haiti, and she does speak Creole, but she got up when it was her turn to speak. She said she doesn't feel comfortable speaking in Creole, and could one of us was going to somebody was going to translate for her, and she what happened was the parents got really mad. I think it was actually Rosemary that said, wait, she doesn't speak Creole? And then everybody was jumping out of their chairs and literally yelling, and we had to take a while to calm everybody down, and then we were just speak in Creole, and she I think she did it in Creole. But what do you think about that whole situation where she had become disassimilated to the language of her mother, her mother tongue of her family, and then other people who were first generation Haitians in the Dominican Republic were very angry about that? What do you think about that?
C'est ça tant que pour moun qui dans salle là, ça t'es un dérespectant pour eux.
Oh, okay.
Tant que ça t'est venu faire frustré, t'est venu faire fâcher plus.
Okay, so the parents that were watching this, he thinks that was they took that as disrespectful. It made them frustrated. It made them more angry.
Et tout en pile haïtien tant que vinn pour ça non l'autre façon tout pour ça tant que ou pas haïtien pour pas parler créole. C'est ça que t'es venu faire pour faire plus voler tout le monde comment ça fait bruit.
Yeah, and he thinks a lot of people were saying you can't be Haitian and not speak Creole, that was what made them jump and get loud. And then, so my question is, so this teacher had a Dominican birth certificate, but she probably didn't have a Haitian birth certificate, but she could have gotten one if she wanted, right?
Yeah.
So really she's somebody with like double nationality. So at what point does somebody become, because like my grandmother's from Puerto Rico, and then on my dad's side it's a lot of Irish. I think that a few generations back in the 1850s my family came from Ireland. Well, that's English, but my mom didn't speak Spanish. Her mom was from Puerto Rico. She came really young, but she didn't speak Spanish, and they all just see themselves as American. When they talk about where they come from, then they talk about that, but they kind of see themselves as American. So then at what point would they not see her as Haitian anymore, and they would see her as Dominican of Haitian descent? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is there any point where, that person was, their parents are from Haiti, but
Quoi que qui fait Jeres là pas en Dominicain sont haïtiens juste parce que la travaille dans l'école là. Bon. Juste parce que la travaille dans l'école là, l'école créole que vous venir dire qu'il pas parler créole.
Yeah.
C'est ça devient faire une fâché.
He thinks that this situation was aggravated, and they didn't see this teacher as a Dominican because she was working in the school where we do education in Creole and Spanish.
De même gens tout si là il travaille dans l'école dominicain, il dit pas qu'on parler dominicain, créole lui qu'on parler dominicain on va le fâcher, ou aller ça lui faire là.
Okay. Okay, so he said that if she was in like a Dominican school and it was time to speak and she said, "Oh, I don't speak Spanish," they would have been like, "Well, what are you doing working here?" But we have teachers that speak Spanish too. So I get what you're saying. And a difference between looking at this compared to immigrants in the United States is that I think that she does have a Dominican birth certificate, but there's been a lot of situations where they were like taken away, denying citizenship to Haitian kids born in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yo con pa by active sense. Okay, so maybe that made the feeling of you're Haitian even stronger.
C'est non façon ça tout.
So
parfois tout un peu haïtien fier tout pour pas parler créole là pour juste minimiser l'autre là.
Yeah.
Juste pour bon c'est dominicain 100% oui.
Yeah. So he said some Dominicans of Haitian descent or Haitians when they come and assimilate to life in the Dominican Republic, then they're proud to not speak Creole, and they want to act like they're Dominican, kind of as a superiority type of thing.
Ça sont bail haïtien bon me dit qu'a dit 95% haïtien raï.
Yes, that's
something
like 95% of Haitians hate.
Les sont haïtiens qui proposent ils pas parler créole. Il capable parler le vrai, mais depuis que tant suspect que ou parler ou pas venir proposer ou sont dominicains 100% ou parler ou pas qu'on parler créole, tant pour ça va le faire raï ou même gourmet au camando.
Yeah.
Parce que ils sont minimiser.
Yeah, now he's getting at what my thoughts were, that you see it a lot. He said that's something that like 95% of Haitians hate, is that okay, there could be somebody who doesn't speak, their family's from Haiti, but they didn't learn Creole. They've lost the ability to speak Creole, and but if they have like an inclination that you're basically just trying to be superior and pretend like you don't speak Creole, then they feel like you're basically dissing them, and they hate that. So is that how you feel?
No.
Yeah, you don't really care about those things. Okay. So have you found it challenging coming from Haiti and living in the Dominican Republic? Or do you feel like it's really challenging for Haitians in general?
It's for
cultural differences and... Yeah. How do you think is the best way to cope with the challenges? Do you feel like there's animosity between Haitians and Dominicans in general? You do? But you have lots of Dominican friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not too much animosity?
No, not
Like-
too much.
From your Dominican friends, do you feel like they look at you differently or anything like that? You do? But you're still friends with them? Do you feel like you look at them differently?
Comment la différence là?
Si yo gade ou mal, ou bien yo gade ou mal, pou tèt nou pa même nation?
Non, pas que moun qui gade, pas que Dominicain qui gade. Moun Dominicain qui pas connaître moi, il ka gade mal, mais moun qui tout moun qui connaître moi va gade mal.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so he's like, no. I don't feel like people look at me bad. He's like, maybe somebody doesn't know me might look at me bad, but everybody that knows me, I don't feel like they're looking like down on me or bad at me or anything like that.
Tant que boucher avec moi, quand pile moun ti moun ou bien un pile moun l'aime rentrer dans un côté ou bien ba yo ka pris.
Yeah.
Moi, juste pour style là pris.
Yeah.
Ou bon ça là non. Mais comme ça tu vas venir yon 40%, 45% qui content et vinn courir oh un bel style ça
He's talking about his hair. He said some people might laugh at me or think my hair is weird, but other people might like it and might congratulate me and do like a pound it. Okay.
Tant que moun qui reconnaît moi, et pas nan bay gade mal.
Yeah. When I first came here, I was told that it was there was a lot of animosity between Haitians and Dominicans. That's what I was told. But I guess I thought that I did see it more. I think that the plan of regularization in 2015, I think that helped a lot.
Tout longtemps il plus bagay ça tout.
Yeah, he feels like it was worse before.
Quand il y a le temps que ba yo vinn commencer tranquilliser.
Yeah, he said things are much calmer now. Do you think it maybe was around 2015 when they did the plan of regularization? There was even this song, a Dominican song, and it was like, "Estoy celoso de los haitianos, I'm jealous of Haitians." And then somebody else said, "¿Por qué? Why?" And he said, "Porque ellos tienen papeles de aquí. They have documents. From here." And then it went into this rap. So it was like, I felt like it was a kind of a change there.
Yeah.
Even one time at the electric company. Hi, Gabriel. Good morning. We're sitting right outside of our window, so the boys are just waking up and peeking out the window.
About the mask.
Okay, we just turned the chairs around because the sun was hitting us. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, right around the regularization, before the regularization, there was that guy that has the gym with the long hair in El Norte. He like yelled at me a lot and said that I was bringing truckloads of Haitians over, and so that was the biggest type of animosity I'd ever seen. I was definitely not bringing truckloads of Haitians over, or never, invited anybody to come to the Dominican Republic. But he was like very, very saying lots of bad things, and he had been in the United States and spoke English too. And so, anyways, but he was a Dominican man, and I hadn't, yeah. That was the biggest bit of animosity I've ever seen. But like I said, I noticed that song, and I noticed that after the plan of regularization, it seemed like things got better.
Yeah. Things is getting better more every day. About the mask. The moun qui raciste yo.
Yeah.
Ba yo ap vinn anti jan pi tranquille. De jour en jour.
Yeah. So you see it as racism, not nationalism? Do you know what I mean?
C'est un coup race.
Oui, est-ce que c'est pour race y'a parlé mal ou bien est-ce que c'est pour nation y'a parlé mal?
Pour tous les deux.
You see it as
Un
both?
coup Dominicain peut même yo peut haïtien même. Yo connaît haïtien ça capable faire.
Dominicans are generally a little bit scared of Haitians because of the Haitian occupation.
C'est pas seul pour ça encore donc yo connaît que nous son peuple qui gagne force tout. Donc nous ka créer puis tout yo paye toujours paye pour pas prendre territoire pas nan mais
Okay, so feeling like the same way that Haiti wanted to take the Dominican Republic before, then they would maybe want to do that again. Do you think that people think that way?
yeah
Dominicans or Haitians?
Dominicain avec haïtien
So do Haitians want to come?
pour yo venir pour là non
No.
non haïtien pas gen ça yo juste chercher un plus bon la vie tant qu'on
Right.
venir ici mais pas vous dire que yo gen ça dans tête yo pour venir pour la République dominicaine
Right.
c'est dominicain qui paye yo
I think that Dominicans think that Haitians might have that intention. Okay. Do you like the Dominican Republic as a country?
oui les bagages un bel petit pays lié
Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
nous même si nous avons un bon gouvernement nous avons un plus bel pays que Dominique parce que Dominique est plus mal passé nous mais qu'on a mais un pays qui est plus bel que Haïti ils développé ils bâti tout
Yeah, if Haiti had a better government, we could be an even better country, or just as good, right? Not that it's not bad and good, but developed. And so you said that the Dominican Republic used to be less developed than Haiti, and now it's much more developed.
yeah
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts of why that's become more developed than Haiti?
je crois que bon là on a parlé de corruption ici il y a une corruption tout pays a une corruption tout gouvernement volait tout gouvernement fait bagaille qui sale mais là regardez
You say in all governments here there's corruption, everywhere there's, in all countries and all governments there's corruption, and he thinks that there's theft, but
mais là regardez tant que ici yo pas tellement veut écraser pays tant que toujours penser un petit cala avec pays pour faire pays belle
yeah.
non plus tout
He's like, but here they don't want to completely break the country. They still think about the country and want to serve the country. And
non
make
plus
it
tout
nice.
étranger pas peur vinn bâti vinn faire pile tant que la
Foreigners aren't
chinois
afraid to come here. They come and develop here as well. He said he's mentioning Chinese. Loga de chinois.
les chinois bon me dire presque 80% ou 85% au gain business dans tout le pays ici là
Yeah, he's like, this country is full of Chinese businesses, and it's true. Yeah.
et sur Haïti
Naiti pagampi chinois.
non pas quoi grand peu chinois
Is it not many Chinese?
quelques grains
In Haiti, he said no, he hasn't observed many Chinese living in Haiti.
tant que c'est pour ça ici a toujours vinn plus belle toujours plus bon que Haïti parce que yo même yo penser
He said that's why this country will continue to develop more. He said they think.
et l'autre bail encore Haïti lui-même tout si craser n'a craser n'importe
Hey,
qui bail
we're
nous
breaking
craser
it.
nous bouler
Anything, little thing that happens, we break it, we burn it.
et vinn joindre avec mon parlementaire ça yo cap voler tout comme encore cap créer kidnapping cap bay moun zam ap demander gros armes aux États-Unis dans tout l'autre pays
Blé sa parlementaire veut dire.
moun dans parlement moun dans
Yeah,
palais
he's saying government officials are involved in kidnappings and getting guns and distributing guns and things
nan
like
ghetto
that.
yo bay nan tout ghetto yo
Distributing them in the ghettos
yo kidnapper moun et puis tout pour faire quoi
to make money.
yeah bah ça à cause que Haïti a toujours été sale a toujours été un pays qui est dans un mauvais état
Yeah, this is why he thinks that Haiti will always stay underdeveloped and stay in the state that it's in.
m'crois tant que opinion pas m'crois pour Haïti ta améliorer faut que ta prend tout ban ghetto ça yo cap virer tourner kidnapper cap tirer moun dans tout ghetto ça yo
In his opinion, for Haiti to change, they would have to go into all these ghettos that are kidnapping and such.
yo éliminer yo soit bombarder yo éliminer avec missile ou bien que yo essayer demander renfort pour américain ou bien l'autre côté yo vinn prendre tout vieux kidnapper ça yo et puis tout monde dans parlement éliminer tout net mettre nouveau
They would have to eliminate everybody involved in this way, in whatever way they can, getting reinforcement from other countries or what, and completely change the government.
yeah
Okay. One. Understand. So, here's what I'm thinking about when Haiti did come to the Dominican Republic and dominated for 22 years in the 1800s, my first thought when I look at that history is that to this day, at that point and to this day, there was not schools for the kids. So it's understandable because before Haiti became an independent country, there was a whole century of slavery, and it was the slaves that became in power.
Yeah.
So I guess some of the population that were like mulattoes were in the government as well, and they were educated, but the majority of the population did not go to school. So it makes sense that they weren't thinking right away to make schools.
Yeah.
But it's like maybe a little bit neglecting that before you go and try to take over somewhere else. So basically what you're saying is Haitians don't have that idea of taking over another country. They need to get their own country in order. So then what do you think about, you think that you'd have to eliminate those people, but what if all of a sudden there was an effort to make sure that every single kid was in school? What if that was what the effort was, rather than eliminating people? Or maybe in addition to, I don't know.
L'idée ça c'est qu'à bon mais a toujours le même problème là.
He thinks it's a good idea, but they'll still be in the same problem.
Parce que tout côté gain crime ça yo, c'est là où tu as fait l'école. C'est là où tu as mis l'école pour c'est là où tu as mis l'école juste pour tout le monde éduquer pour pas de mauvais pensées pour pas bail.
Yeah, the places that need the schools are the places where the most violence is.
Bon. OK. Quoi que ça pour aller rentrer ou bien aide ça pour aller rentrer, c'est même bandit ça qui pour le point.
Any help that would go into those communities will be these same criminals that will take it.
Ça c'est même bandit ça qui pour la venir organiser l'école tout bagage ça.
So do you think all of the young men in these ghettos have a criminal mindset, and what if they were rewarded? For example, this is an idea I've been thinking. What if Cité Soleil, for example? Well, hold on, let me tell you my idea. What if there was a project, we're going to have a census, and there's going to be compensation, $5 for every profile on a child living in Cité Soleil that's created. And some of the young men could be involved in this census. Then do you think, given that reward for something good, not that $5 is a lot, but it's, you know, I forget how many, and then there's hundreds of thousands of people that live there. So rewarding things like that. Or what if you found everybody that did graduate from high school, or everybody that did go to school, and then you're, you know, getting funds into their hands so that they're tutoring, so that they're educating, then you're rewarding something else. Because right now, the reward is in the crime, right? But if you put the reward in something else, then of course there might be some jealousy and some stuff that happens at first, but if you do it on a mass scale, you do it to everybody all at once, then do you think some people might, rather than thinking of crime, then they're going to think of education?
Na façon ça y penser avec éducation.
Yeah, it can change their minds. So you think it's possible?
Yeah.
Because it's not, I don't know if that's ever been tried before, really. I think it's been tried on a small scale, but if you did it like on the big scale,
Ça va changer un petit peu la cité na façon ça la bien, mais
that can change a little bit if it's done in that way.
ça va dépendre c'est est-ce que vraiment c'est la même moun qui a bénéficié.
It's going to depend on whether it's getting to the people. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So if you just have one fund manager, for example, okay, we're doing this project in Cité Soleil, and you have one person and the money goes through them, well, it might be hard, it might be dangerous for that person. It would be hard and dangerous for that person. But if you had, let's say you had teaching teams, you have teams of people. This teaching team has 6 teachers, they're in this sector. This teaching team has 6 people, they're in this sector. And then you don't send it to the same person. They're like a team, and there's 6 of them. So this month you send the money to this one. The next month you send the money to this one. Then it might get, you know, it might...
Idée ça est bon.
He said those are good ideas. Okay, cool. All right. Because another thing you've talked about a lot is you kind of downplay school in general. This is something that we kind of fight about because you say that you have lots of family in Haiti that have worked really hard to get all the way through school. And school in Haiti, to graduate from high school in Haiti, it's more years than in the United States. It's more years than in the Dominican Republic. And it's technically lots of times in a language that's you're not spoken at home. It's in French, and French and Creole are two different languages. So that's another challenge. And lots of times in Haiti, you can't even find a community that fully speaks French to be able to practice, right? So it's very challenging, and you have to pay for it too. That's another challenge. It's super challenging. And so you have family members that have made it, gotten all that way, and then you say that years and years go by and they have no work, and so you don't see the reward in going to school. Do you want to share any thoughts on that?
Bon, m'crois que l'important pour moun aller l'école.
Oh, now you think it's important for people?
L'important pour moun aller, oui, l'important pour moun aller l'école.
Yeah, for people to go to school.
Mais il y a un côté tout, faut dire moi son temps à perdre.
But sometimes he thinks it's a waste of time.
Pour Haïti, oui.
In Haiti, okay.
Et pas pour ici, et pas pour notre pays, non?
Là, no?
Yeah.
You don't think it's a waste of time here ever?
Tant que m'dou ici pour Dominicains qui vont perdre du temps.
Okay, for Dominicans
qui voulaient aller à l'école là. Parce que imagine où.
You think there's reward for them that's waiting for them?
Yeah. Haïti, ou finit l'école, ou finit toute carrière honnête. Là, regardez ces bourrettes ou pousser Haïti.
So in Haiti, you could finish all of your schooling, and then you're pushing a wheelbarrow in Haiti.
So you think it's bad to push a wheelbarrow? Pas tout le monde.
Not everyone, but the majority of people.
Un peu le monde, majorité monde, au concept de là, ça veut dire, je crois que il y a plus de Haïti qui finit toute carrière honnête, qui passe misère, passe monde qui finit, qui a bien vivre.
You think there are more people that have graduated from high school in Haiti that are basically suffering, living a very hard life, than there are people who have finished high school and have improved their life because of it. So, but do you think I get what you're saying, yeah, pousse bouette, they're pushing a wheelbarrow. So obviously part of what people think when they're done with school is that they'll be able to get an easier job, but at the same time, so a few questions. First of all, is that bad to be pushing a wheelbarrow? Is it bad to do garden work and farm work?
No, it's not bad. But
is it shameful?
Oui, parce que m'ba la perdre temps dans combien années tirer tête moi non bagay pour
It's not the most efficient way to.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Et plutôt pour cette bagay ça on va la faire pour ça tout temps ça on doit perdre.
Yeah. Why did you waste all that time learning? Okay, so you think that the only benefit from school is to be able to make money? Do you see other things that you could help with?
Ou ka aider un peu ou ka sauver un peu comment on dit ça un peu l'autre monde ça pas qu'on lit ça pas comprendre ça tant que ça pas comprendre là ou ka sauver un peu l'autre monde.
You can help a lot of other people, you can save a lot of other people by giving them good advice, you mean, and by helping them to see things clearly.
Pour tout bail ça
help them to teach them to read. So what about just if you're sick and you understand how anatomy works, how the body parts work, if you understand how reproduction works, then there's all sorts of different decisions. Like, for example, you know how I always forget to drink water? Like, every few weeks I forget to drink water and then I get a really bad headache. And when other people get bad headaches, I'm saying you might be dehydrated, drink water. But you said that a lot of people don't even realize that it's maybe tied to that they're not drinking enough water.
Right.
That's something that could save people's lives. That's one of the biggest things that kills kids around the world is dehydration. That's just one example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But all that you learn, you can use it, in some way like that.
Yeah.
And so even if there's not job opportunity right away, which of course we want there to be job opportunity, but if there's not, then just the way that we manage our neighborhood and just the way that we manage our town, right? The more people understand, then... Okay. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Oui, ça c'est une bonne idée.
He said, yeah, that's a good idea. But I totally understand what you're saying too, that it's very frustrating.
Mais frustration même oui, parce que au monde va la perdre temps dans l'université tout ça plutôt Tout travail bon, tout travail important. Tout
Yeah.
travail.
He said it's frustrating that it'd be a waste of time. People spending all that time in school. All work is good. All work is important.
Imagine on finit faire toute carrière net et puis tout est bourrette pour le pousser pour dégoûter, pour 5 gouttes.
But imagine I'm done all of the studying and I'm gonna push a wheelbarrow for 5 good. Okay. Yep. But then what would they have been doing otherwise? If they're not going to school, what would they have been doing all that time?
Bon, je dis qu'à faire l'autre travail, ouais. Non, moi-même, pas de problème avec tout le monde aller à l'école.
He's like, they could have been doing other work. Oh no, I don't have a problem for people to go to school.
Pas de problème pour mon aller à l'école. Le problème là, c'est que ça bat plus le monde frustration, monde qui fait toute carrière.
It just frustrates people a lot. Yeah, understandably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Non, l'école sont bon bagages, tout le monde doit aller à l'école.
Yes,
pour apprendre.
Everyone should go to school and learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. What do you think is the biggest difference between you and me?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah. Un cavalier de ma caméra. I think ou aime moun plus passer.
Oh.
Aku basi tellement attaché avec moun comme ça ouais.
Oh, okay. That I get very attached to people. He thinks that I love people more than him, and he doesn't get. He doesn't attach to people like that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, you don't attach to people. You mean you don't? You've always said that you don't trust people.
No, I don't trust people. Badi, si on moun croit dans l'autre monde, ça a problème pas. Mais moi-même personnel pas. M'pa pas le temps de se le on va fin passer m'pa dire ah si me connaît tant qu'on toujours mettre le positif dans tête moi n'importe monde ka fait on ça me là non.
He's not saying it's bad to trust people, but he's always thinking I'm not going to wait until something happens and then say if I had known.
Tant pour exemple.
I'm always thinking they could do this to me, they could do this to me.
Exemple tant pour ba Malio m'dégage mettre le positif quelqu'un dit non c'est pas l'elle fin dit non me dit ah si me connaît m'pa écrire on ça me là.
He kind of thinks on the negative end, and he was talking about something that he requested or he solicited, and he had already had a no in his mind so that he wasn't upset when he heard the no.
Mais ça va veut dire même pas même monde.
It doesn't mean that he doesn't love people, he just doesn't trust.
Moi même monde ça nous toutes ces petites bon Dieu.
We're all God's children. I love people.
Mais tant qu'on m'pa fier monde tant qu'on m'pa se m'attacher avec moi.
Yeah, I don't really get attached to people. Et mais ouais moi-même oui.
Oui, même oui ou gain un plus bon cœur qui aime moun plus passer qui attache plus.
He said I have a better heart that loves people more than him and attaches to them more. Okay, you know what I was thinking about is the biggest difference?
What?
And it's something that I think about a lot, not just between me and you, but between the United States and Haiti in general, and the Dominican Republic's kind of in the middle. I think about it a lot, and I talk about it, and I write about it because I think it's so interesting. I think it's the use of space. So, I remember early on, being in a house and being around lots of people, the way that I grew up, I was a sensitive kid, and I would get upset, and I would always want to go sit outside. And we had sheep, and I would like to go sit with our sheep, or I would like to just go sit in nature somewhere. And I remember doing that early on living here, and you would kind of get mad at me and come after me and like force me to go back inside, and it was so against what I felt like I should do. And I remember you sitting there doing something, and there was a kid. You said that you don't attach to people, but I felt like you were so much more patient being around people than I was, because there's a kid just like on your shoulder right there, and it just irked me, and I was like, I would have asked him to move back. And you didn't even seem to notice that he was right there. And then so when we went and visited your family in Haiti the first time, it was just such a big difference, the use of space. Because remember, we went with Elias was a baby, and so many people crowded around us right away and took Elias right from me and like went on another place with him, and then they were laughing at me because I was trying to go get him and stay with him. And at my house, you know, we grew up on a larger property on a farm, and we didn't have houses close, and I always wanted my mom to have more kids. So even the way that you drive, you know how it seems like I might have a little bit more fender benders than you? You know what a fender bender is? Low floppy on low machine? Yeah, and you say it's because I'm got the kids in the car with me and I'm not paying attention. But you will like slide right by another car, and I said, I don't want to go in here, it's too tight, and you're like, you don't see that it's a problem, you don't feel like you're gonna hit things, and you even go fast, you squeeze through these holes and go fast, and that's how a lot of people here drive too. And you notice the difference with, you say that Americans drive like that and they don't even realize they're going over this hole quickly and they're messing up the car and stuff like that because the roads are worse here. But I think it's just really interesting the differences in space and how it has a big kind of effect on us in general.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said that God made everyone. So you believe that God made you. Just going to confirm. You believe that God made you.
Yeah.
And you believe that God loves you. And so
God loves everybody.
God loves everybody. Okay.
God loves the world. All the people.
Okay. So for what purpose do you think that God made you?
Bon, bon Dieu fait créer petit li dans image li pour juste pour servir li pour nous vivre bien en harmonie.
God made his children in his image to serve him and live in harmony.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
On voit que rien encore.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that we're living in harmony?
Nowadays, no.
Nowadays, no?
Non.
No.
Tant qu'on a une petite complication entre les ça, tant qu'on d'après nous en harmonie, d'après non.
Yeah.
Donc on voit que après le monde a besoin de reconnaître que son seul papa nous gagne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nous tous doivent venir au seul.
A lot of people are living in harmony. A lot of people know. I forgot that I was translating. But a lot of people are going to have to understand that we have one Father.
Que son seul vie tout le monde gagne.
It's all one life.
Et mourir et puis toi le jeune papa. Si vous
Die and go
observez,
find your father.
si vous observez règle yo. Si vous avez craintif dans lui.
If you have respect for him.
L'absorber mon quoi. Et tout, je crois que tant que bagay couleur mon a besoin effacer ça parce que bon Dieu pas créer mon avec couleur. Bon Dieu pas distinguer des couleurs, ça couleur ça avant. Toute couleur c'est même.
So he said that people will have to look past differences, including color, racial differences. That God doesn't look at people like that. Everyone's the same.
C'est plus gros problème qui gagne dans le monde là.
He thinks that's the biggest problem in the
Dans
world.
moment là, que des couleurs.
Okay, he thinks it's the biggest problem in the world now. So I'm going to ask him, do you think it's the biggest problem because that's what you see the most on like social media?
Oui, c'est ça mon pile.
That's what he sees a lot
Et
on
tout
social
ça me
media.
vivre en pile tout, ni ici
He
à
lives
tout.
that a lot too. Here too.
Bon.
Oh, so you feel like people look at people differently because of their
Oui.
color here in the
Oui.
Dominican Republic? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So another thing that I've learned from living here is that so we're living in the Dominican Republic, but we live a lot with the Haitian immigrant community, and a lot of our teachers and all of our students and everything are part of the Haitian immigrant community, and a lot of our friends. So many times when a Haitian dies or becomes sick, then sometimes there's a explanation, a medical explanation, but then almost always there's a spiritual explanation about spiritual attack, that they believe it was a spiritual attack through magic, through voodoo. Even if it's something like a motorcycle accident, people will believe that this motorcycle accident was orchestrated by negative spiritual forces that someone had called into action, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have any thoughts about that? Do you think that that is what's going on, that there's spiritual attack always going on, or do you think that you see it as a very real thing, don't you?
Bon, 20 fois c'est Gampil fois c'est ba magie tout bon lié, mais gampil fois tant que juste nous-mêmes haïtiens nous gain ça incroyable dans cerveau nous.
Yeah, hold on.
Nous mettre ça en pratique tout.
Yeah. He said lots of times there is spiritual warfare at play, he believes, but lots of times too Haitians have that so much in their mind as being an explanation that they, overuse it basically.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's very different than I would say a lot of the ways that people look at things in the United States, because a lot of people deny supernatural altogether, and they deny the power of spiritual forces altogether. They just don't believe that it exists at all.
Oh yeah.
So every time that someone gets sick, they won't even consider that. It's not, considered a lot of times, and it's not okay. So, but I guess just even thinking about the fact that, or the idea that there is a negative spiritual force that can hurt you and that can affect the physical world.
Yeah.
Comme si gen l'esprit qui ka affecte physiquement. Vous comprenez? So that idea could be applied anywhere, right? And then if you believe that there's a positive spiritual force of God that can help you, then you would believe that there's a negative spiritual force as well that can hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? So do you think that Haitians approach or attach to the negative spiritual forces more than the positive spiritual forces? Not Haitians, not all Haitians. There are lots of strong Christian Haitians. But
both ways. You servi bon, servi mal là,
They serve the good and they serve the bad.
1% qui n'a mal là, 1% qui n'a.
There's a percentage that's in the bad and there's a percentage that's in the good.
Bon, 1% tout tant que la gouma avec нам ni pour tout l'aider.
And then there's a percentage that's in both, that has a foot in both. He said they're fighting in their soul for both.
Yeah.
He said.
Tant que exemple si moun nan wel boko gen bagay. Il remet bon Dieu, il a pratiqué par le bon Dieu, il a sur bon Dieu.
Yeah.
Si elle beaucoup na niveau
So if there's somebody who would like to serve God but they see that they're not at the level where they should be at, so they lose patience basically.
Yeah, il perd patience pour vouloir aller dans job pour puis bagay après finir dans job tranquille et c'est comme ça que le monde fait.
They want to go a negative way, through like a negative force to get what they want, and then they calm down, then they feel like they can be patient again. And so there's a lot of people that are like that, you say?
Oui. Tant que moi-même plutôt m'basse misère dans la boue 10 000 années tant que aille faire un bagay comme ça.
He said he would rather passer misère, suffer in the mud for a long time than to go that route. So you feel like you're suffering? You feel like you're suffering?
M'ba senti m'a souffrir, juste bali un exemple.
I don't feel like I'm suffering, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
But do you ever say things where something might make you really, really mad, or you think that something's really, really wrong, and that those words come out of your mouth about utilizing that to hurt somebody?
Bon,
just like it's a normal thing that lots of Haitians do when they get into conflicts.
Yeah.
Right? So, is that good to say that?
Bon, li pas bon, mais pour qu'on est là au monde fâché ou ka di n'importe bagay.
It's not good, but when you're mad, you could say anything. Okay. So do you think that people should stop thinking about things so much in that way? Like attributing all sorts of negative things to spiritual warfare? Should they stop thinking about things that way?
Bon, baga di aucun monde camper de penser de ça.
Yeah, you can't tell anybody. Everyone has their own beliefs, right? But do you think for the country of Haiti, and do you think for the Haitian people, it brings about more bad effects than it does positive effect? Like, for example, if somebody dies from maybe dehydration, and they say that it was this neighbor that was mad at them, and they did spiritual warfare, and that's what killed them, and they don't really know that if they had just drank more water, or maybe had purified water, then maybe the child wouldn't have died.
Ça c'est un gros problème pour Haïti avec ça. Chaque monde a
a big problem. Everyone has their own beliefs. Me too. I don't think that, like, I should tell anybody that spiritual warfare doesn't exist, because I don't know how much power there is, like, in voodoo, but I know that God has power, and I know that Satan does have a type of power. I know that God's power is stronger than Satan's power, but I believe in spiritual warfare, and I'm not going to say no, that had no play. But I think that it might make neighbors enemies. Like, if I'm always thinking that somebody's doing something against me, and then I also think that sometimes we just ignore, not we, but like when people look at situations this way, they ignore a physical explanation of it. Like, no, this child was lacking clean water, and so that's why they became dehydrated, and then they didn't feel like drinking water. They got more and more dehydrated, and then their body shut down and they died. And so if we have some more explanations like that, then we'll know how to fix them, right?
Oui, grand pile problème qui avec comme ça avec tant les moun nan ka mourir avec parce qu'il va bien prendre soin col bon.
Yeah.
Tellement nous gain bail vaudou ça dans tête nous nous que d'abord c'est bail diable qui tire ça arrive un peu.
Yeah, he said that can happen a lot where somebody dies because of lack of care for their body, and then we have so much of this voodoo in our mind that we attribute it to that. So if you don't know where the problem's coming from, then it's just like.
Mais parfois moun nan les chercher même dans vaudou
but sometimes people they can investigate and they do see that this person had done an attack against them. So like, if let's say somebody steals your tennis shoes right here, and then this is maybe has really happened, and we don't know who did it, but you think that it was, Johnny that did it, but really it was Timmy that took it, and you go and you get so mad at Tommy and you punish him and you take away his stuff too. You make him pay you back for the tennis shoes. Is that helping the situation at all?
No.
Is it making the situation worse? Because if you don't know who did it.
Yeah.
You can't go and blame someone. Right. So that's what's happening with the voodoo accusations, doesn't it?
No, the voodoo. No, le voodoo.
You mean Boko Deal?
Oui.
He's like, no, the voodoo priest can tell you. Oh, so you trust these people.
Yeah.
These voodoo priests are very trustworthy.
No.
What are your views on drugs and alcohol? Do you have anything to say about drugs and alcohol?
Bon, je crois que ça sont mauvais bail.
Drugs and alcohol are bad?
Oui. Un bail qui pas bon pour santé, pour qu'ils soient obligés de mettre dans corps.
Something that's not good for your health, why do you put it in your body?
Yeah.
So you don't understand why kids would get involved with drugs.
Bon, pour moi même je crois que si moun qui tombe dans ça, gapil ti moun c'est gens parents ou lever tout, gens parents ou élever.
He thinks it has to do with the way that the parents raise them.
Oui. Si on élever ti moun nan, qui ti moun nan ou élever nan façon, je crois que démissible c'est peut-être fait mal libéral bon.
I think if you raise your child in a certain way, then they can give you a headache tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was something I was going to say when we were talking about space, and I like the Dominican Republic because I like the amount of space. I like the amount of space between people. I like the way that kind of people relate to each other. Like I said, when we went to Haiti, I felt like I didn't have enough space. Like there wasn't enough space. Like that would be hard for me, And even when we came to live in this community, it was because you always wanted to be where other people were, and especially where the Haitians were. But in the United States, sometimes I feel like there's too much space. And I feel like when you're closer to people, then sometimes if you're too close, then people just don't have enough space. And there's going to be conflict because you're all in my business, right? But it is important to be close to other people to some extent, because then you can work these things out. So I remember assuming, because when I was in high school, there were a lot of drugs. And some people got involved in drugs and then I don't know how they are in their adult life, if they still are involved in drugs or what type of drugs, or if they left that as a thing of the past type of thing. But then some people, it's been affected them very strongly. Some people have overdosed and passed away, or some people struggle with addiction, and it happens here too. But from what I observed is that I thought it was happening the same way. When I first came here, I thought it was the same as in the United States. And coming here, I heard a lot more of talking about drugs from the youth themselves, saying how drugs are bad. And it was kind of like a cool thing in the United States, and it would, even if you didn't do drugs, like you weren't going to stand there in front of other kids and say drugs are bad, because that would be uncool,
Yeah.
And so that was one thing that I thought was different. And sometimes I notice this with volunteers, they'll see a situation here and they'll assume that there's a drug deal going on, just like I did when I first got here. And it's just taking a context. And I think that maybe one of the big things too, I don't know what is the big thing, but there's all sorts of differences I see. And I think one of them might be, sometimes it's a blessing to have less resources and less money. And sometimes having more resources and more money, you spend it on things that aren't good for you.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that, I don't know if it's talking about being physically poor, but it says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for they will inherit the earth. And then Jesus also said it's harder for a rich man to get to the kingdom of heaven as it is for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, right? So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. So you think that pollution is bad. So, do you think that most people, if you ask them, they would think that pollution is bad? Yeah. But who is the one? Who's doing it then? Throwing trash on the ground or throwing trash in the rivers. People are doing it.
Oui.
Yeah. But you think those same people would agree that it's bad, that it's a defect? You said.
Non, ça moun ki pa konnen, il gen moun ki pa konnen de bay ça.
Some people don't know anything about
Ya
that.
yo sel ti fa travail mele.
They just throw trash. They don't care.
Yeah. Mais moun ki konnen li même quoi ki nan sa fa kon la meti fa travail juste pour pas contaminer.
Okay, so you think that people... Okay, so you think that people who are doing it don't think that it's bad? They don't see a problem with it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, so do you think it's something that could change?
Changer dans quelle façon?
Yeah, how is it going to change? So you said that it's a defect on the island.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get rid of a defect, right? You would rather get rid of a defect if you can. So how could it stop?
Bon, je crois que pour ça ta camper, faut que tu mettes une loi dans ça. Juste tant qu'on un petit plus pression.
Yeah, some sort of a law or some type of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a multa, fine,
Oui,
if you're
oui.
caught. Yeah. Yeah, you think that's what would be the solution? Okay. You don't think just talking about it more? Just like how I'm talking to you about it right now, and then talking to other people about it?
Oui, ça t'a aidé un petit calme, mais
That would help
je
a
crois
little
que un petit pression plus pour autorité au débat et tout ça te plus amélioré.
But a little pressure from the authority would work too. Okay. So, when I told you I wanted to start doing interviews to share with volunteers and supporters, you thought it was a good idea. You liked that idea, and then you said you would do it today. So, would you like to interview people too? Like I'm interviewing you? Would you like to do that with other people?
Oui.
Some of these questions, I feel like it would be really interesting if you asked lots of people. And that's like a type of research,
Oui.
right? So you really like to go to Padre Granero a lot. You like to hang out in the Haitian community a lot. So that might be kind of cool. You could even use your phone if people would participate. And you could ask this question, for example, what do you think about pollution?
Yeah.
And if they think it's a defect and how they think it might change, right? And that might be really interesting, and that might help, share thoughts and make improvement too.
Yeah.
You would like to do that? Cool. Awesome. Thank you for doing this.
Yep. Bye.